Today we're going to be talking about rolling a covered call option, which is an essential skill to learn for anyone who writes covered calls. And before I learned how to roll a covered call, I was leaving a lot of money on the table. One of the worst things that can happen when you sell a covered call is for the stock to shoot up and become way in the money, well above your strike price and the premium you received for selling your covered call. But by using the very simple strategy of rolling out an option, you can really maximize your profits from your covered call. In this video, I'm first going to talk about what it means to roll out an option, which is also called rolling an option forward. Second, I'm going to talk about how to manage your covered call by rolling it out. Third, I'm going to go over a real example of how I rolled my covered call to collect additional premium rather than being forced to sell my shares. Fourth, I'm going to show you how you can use Thinkorswim to roll out your covered call. And finally, I'm going to walk you through my simple 2-question process for deciding if I want to roll out the covered call. All this right after. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Learn to invest like a wolf at your own risk. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Wolves of Investing. My name is Donnie Nguyen and I'm the founder of Wolves of Investing. If you're new, my channel is primarily about investing for growth. If you want to learn how to achieve financial freedom through investing, be sure to click on that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't yet. And please remember to drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, as it truly helps out the channel. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What does it mean to roll an option out? An options rollout is simply the act of closing your options contract and immediately opening the same contract with the same strike price, but with a later expiration date. Now you can also roll an option up, which means to choose a higher strike price, roll it down, which means to choose a lower strike price, or roll it back, which means to choose an earlier expiration date, assuming one exists. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on just rolling it out with the same strike price to keep it simple. Now that we've defined what it means to roll out an option, let's look at an example of how you can use this strategy to maximize your profits in a covered call when the stock has moved above the strike price or in the money. For example, let's say you bought 100 shares of stock for $25 per share and sold a covered call that expires in November with the strike price of $30, and you collected a $1 premium, which of course is $100, since one options contract represents 100 shares of stock. Now let's say the trade is going against you and the stock price shoots higher and is now well in the money at $35. Now, of course, you can just let the option expire worthless and let the 100 shares get called away at $30. But you can potentially roll the covered call to a future date to A, collect more premium, and B, give yourself more time if you're not yet ready to sell your shares. For example, let's say that the price to buy back the covered call is now $3. Remember, you originally sold the covered call for $1. So if you bought it back for $3, you'd be at a loss of $200. But let's say that the following month's covered call option in December at the same strike price can be sold for $4. So if you closed out your original November covered call for $3, and immediately sold the December covered call for $4, you'd make an additional $100 in premium on the trade. And you won't be forced to sell your 100 shares of stock just yet. What is the risk? The main risk is that the stock can tank well below the strike price and you'd be stuck bag holding a stock that you could have just let get called away at $30. All right, so now let's look at an example of a real trade that I made. On October 19th, I bought 100 shares of Bitfarms, ticker BITF, for $5.58. I then sold a covered call that expired the following month on November 19th for 32 cents in premium. The strike price was $7.50. Prior to expiration, the stock moved significantly higher and reached a high of $9.36. On the day of expiration, Bitfarms closed at $8.18. So I definitely would have had my 100 shares called away. However, on November 15th, I decided to roll my option out to December. I bought back my November contract for $1.29 and immediately sold the December contract for $2.06, pocketing an additional 77 cents in premium, minus any commissions. So by rolling out my covered call, I was able to make $77 more on the trade. So bear in mind, even though this trade is going very well for me so far, it's not without risk. I still own 100 shares of stock, so if the stock price tanks, I could end up being a bag holder. Now I wanted to show you how you can use Thinkorswim to roll out your option. Thinkorswim is a free platform for TD Ameritrade customers. Under the Monitor tab, find your open covered call trade in your position statement. I customized my view so your position statement may look slightly different than mine. In this example, I'm just looking at the covered call on Bitfarms that expires in December that we just talked about. Right-click on the option you want to roll, then go to Create Rolling Order, and then click on the rolling order. You can see that this rolling order is called a diagonal. Make sure that the rolling order is a credit and not a debit. A credit is displayed in red and just means that you're collecting the premium to roll this option. And a debit is displayed in green and means that you would be paying money to roll the option. You can see that it defaults to me buying back my December option, and it also defaults to me selling the following expiration, which is January. It also defaults to the same strike price. And of course, I can change any of the parameters such as the expiration date, the strike price, and the limit price. But for this example, I'm just going to keep everything the way it is and then click Confirm and Send. Then I get another chance to review my order, and if it looks good to me, then I can click Send and wait for my order to get executed. And as you can see, if this order gets executed, I would collect a credit of $78.68 after commissions. So that's how you roll an option using Thinkorswim. But just remember, you don't need Thinkorswim to roll the option. I just find it easier than doing it on the desktop or mobile app. And if you use a different broker, I assume most brokers have a similar feature. Now I'm going to go over my simple 2-question decision-making process for when I decide to roll an option that has gone in the money or is very close to going in the money. The first question I ask myself is, can I roll this option for additional credit? If the answer is no, then it's probably time to let this covered call expire worthless and move on to another trade. If the answer is yes, then I'll ask myself the second question. Do I want to continue holding the stock? If the answer is yes, then I'll go ahead and roll the covered call. And if the answer is no, then I'll go ahead and let it expire worthless. All right, so thank you for making it to the end of my video. If you want to get more insights into my portfolios, or if you want to just support the channel, be sure to check out my Patreon. A link is in the video description. And as always, a huge thank you to the patrons that have already joined. And also, be sure to check out my free Discord to talk about stocks with other members of the Wolves of Investing community. A link is also in the video description. All right, so let me know what you think about rolling covered calls. Drop me a line in the comments. Be sure to leave a like on this video before leaving. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.